Hello guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Today I am going to set up my travel / anxiety journal. So this is a little bit of a different video than I normally do, so we're just going to kind of jump right in. So as you may know if you've been watching my videos, I have a vacation coming up the week of the 17th, and I actually have to fly somewhere. And I don't really like flying. I get anxiety on planes. I used to love flying when I was younger, but for about the past 10 years, it's just been an issue for me. So one of the best ways that I have found to cope with flying and my anxiety is to have a travel book. I didn't start off having a travel book because I wasn't always into decorative planning, but the concept has always been the same, and that's I always try to bring something on the plane to distract me, basically. And so last year I started to put together travel books to help me do that more efficiently, and they worked like a dream. So I am going to set up my travel anxiety book, and I am going to use a Happy Planner notebook. This is a great way to use your notebooks. If you're like me and you buy these notebooks for like $3 or $4 when they go on clearance, or when you can get them at Hobby Lobby 40% off, or Michael's 40% off, then you have a stack of notebooks. And I usually use them for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes I just use the paper that's in there. I just take the paper out, use it as filler paper. Sometimes I use it when I go on a road trip, and I just need to just write down my thoughts, or just, kind of as a brain dump, whatever. But I have a bunch of notebooks. And so creating little specialty notebooks and planners is just a really good way to use it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I am going to use, I think this is the Bug Robbins Find Happiness in the Journey. I think I paid like $3 for this on a Happy Planner clearance. Purple's my favorite color if you didn't know. I absolutely love the dividers in here. I love the borders on the paper. Just beautiful, beautiful notebook. I believe this was part of the Pride collection for 2024. So that is going to be my base. What I have also done is, you know me, I've made some inserts specific for my travel anxiety book. Now, when you are putting together a travel anxiety book, the key is to do things that you like to do, and to include tasks and activities that you know will distract you. So these books can be different for everybody. I'm going to go through what I include in my travel and activity book. So I always just have a cover page, just because, it rounds out the whole thing, the whole book. I am starting off with a checklist. This checklist is here so that I can list all the activities that I could potentially do during my flight. And so this is just a running checklist. It's going to have all type of random things in there, from coloring a page, because I have some coloring book pages in here, to looking at my budget for the next quarter, to planning my goals for Q2. I mean, it's just going to have a running list of things that I could possibly do. So this is front and back. And then as I do them, I can check them off. Also, my flight's pretty short this time, so I'm making this book for both legs of the flight. Okay, so there's my checklist. That's kind of going to be like my index of everything I could possibly do. Then I like to do lettering practice. I find it very calming. I can get completely distracted away from what's going on in the plane and just focus on practicing my lettering, because I'm horrible at lettering. But I love to play with markers and stationery, so lettering practice is a great distraction for me. And I do want to get better at it. And so I found these hand lettering practice sheets, and it's just kind of, they're very basic. Practicing your strokes, down strokes, up strokes, so to speak. And yeah, I don't have these in here to say I'm going to complete all these on my trip. That is not the purpose. The purpose is to be distracted during my trip doing things that I enjoy. So I'm going to take my brush marker, both my Tumbo and my Dollar Tree brush marker, and I will be practicing letters at my seat to help distract me. At least I'll have the option to do that. That will be one of my activities I may do. So to round out my creative section of this notebook, because I'm going to put all these in separate sections in my notebook, I have some coloring pages. And I just downloaded these from Creative Fabrica and printed them on my regular printer. And I use alcohol markers. So I am going to bring like my travel set of alcohol markers. And I am going to do some coloring pages if I want to. And I do the bold and easy, cute and comfy coloring pages because I'm not great at coloring, but I still enjoy it. So that's why these are all really simple images. Okay, so I have several of those, enough, like I said, for both legs of my trip. I would say a bold and easy coloring page like this would take me about 45 minutes. So yeah, love that. Okay, so then that's the creative section. The next section of my travel anxiety planner is really kind of like, I would say, my personal planning. So anything that I need to do for the upcoming week or quarter, I've included in here. I have a whole budget planner, and it's a big size, but I went ahead and printed my bills and subscriptions page and my monthly budget page for classic size so that I could include it in my travel planner. Why? If you watch my budget videos, you know that I have some big changes coming up in quarter two. Nothing super major, but just kind of how I approach a portion of my budget, specifically my business expenses, is going to change. So my bills and subscriptions list is going to change. My monthly plan for how I pay some of my variable bills, all that's going to change in quarter two. And so I just printed these pages off, and I'm going to have some notes pages in there as well to kind of help me think through that. So if I need to be distracted on the plane, I will start thinking through this on the plane and start taking notes and getting prepared for that. So that's kind of the personal section. Then I will have a business section, which is very similar to the personal section. So the business section is where I just have different things related to my my business, specifically around content planning, because it's really easy to get lost in content planning. And if I'm trying to be distracted, that's a perfect thing to think about. So I just have some of my business pages printed out for the next quarter so that I can start doing some planning and preparing for the next quarter for my businesses. So if I need to be distracted on the plane, then I can start doing this as my, reviewing my businesses and preparing and planning for some business content. So yeah, that is pretty much all that is included in my travel planner or my travel anxiety book. So I am going to go ahead and put these together in the actual notebook. So guys, keep in mind, the purpose of my travel planner is not to keep track of my budget for my travel. That's not what this is. You can do a planner for that, but that's not what this is. This is specifically to handle my anxiety on planes. Let's just be real here. That's 100% what it is. So I thought about the things that I do that work well for distracting me and for helping calm and soothe my anxiety. And that's what I put in here. So it will be personal to everybody. So let me pause for a minute and say, in the kind of pre-section, I put my cover and I put my checklist. I'm also going to go ahead and put my travel plans. This is not really my budget. This is just really my packing plan. And, I just want to take this with me so I can check things off as I go. But the first section of my travel anxiety page is going to be my creative section. Well, do I want that to be my first section? Yeah, I want it to be my first section. So I'm going to go ahead and put my lettering practice in here. And then I am going to put my coloring book pages. So, I am also going to take out I might take out some of these notes pages because I want to make sure I have enough room for everything, but I don't need to take out a ton. But this is all I need for my creative section. So if I'm on the plane and I want to be distracted and I want to do something creative, I have a couple of different options here. Lettering and coloring, both of those I find very calming. My next section is going to be my personal planning section. I find I find planning and organizing calming. That is very calming for me. To get things, it's kind of the same concept of when you declutter, it helps calm you. It helps with anxiety sometimes. Planning and organizing helps with my anxiety. If I have a ton of things out there that I know I need to do and they're not planned or organized, it causes me to be stressed. So whenever I sit down and plan and think about things, it helps distract me. So I am including planning pages in my travel anxiety folder. So this section is going to be personal planning. So I don't have a lot of printables because I have personal planners. I'm just not bringing them. But I do have a lot of blank notebook paper. So this isn't all the personal planning that I need to work on. Like, for example, I need to plan my Q2 goals and things like that. I didn't want to reprint all of those pages or take them all out of my other planners, but I can keep track of that information on this note paper. So these will get really full on the plane. And then the third section, this is the biggest section because my business planner has some very, very specific inserts. So I could have just wrote it on a notebook paper, but since my business planner is classic sized, I thought, you know what, let me just grab those inserts and put them in here. And that way, once I do the planning, I don't have to rewrite it. So unlike my personal planning where that's all about my budget for the most part, my budget planner is a big planner. So anything I write on those pages, I will have to rewrite. So I don't really have that option to do a direct carryover, but for my small business planner, I do. So everything fits with the notebook paper. So I think I'll leave the notebook paper in here. But yeah, so this, guys, is now my travel and anxiety notebook. I will take this with me on the plane in my carry-on. Let's see, it is a little bit heavy, so I probably will go in and pull out some of these notebook pages just while I am traveling, because I don't want this book to be too heavy. I don't want my bag to be too heavy, I should say. I do need most of these pages probably in the personal planner and a few of these pages in the business planner section. All right, so I took out probably about half, and I will put these back when I return. But now this notebook is not nearly as heavy. It's a lot more portable. Okay, that's it. This is now my travel and anxiety planner, and I am so excited for my trip, and I think I will have a wonderful trip now that I have something to work on the plane to help distract me. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you got some ideas from this. I know this was a quick surprise video, or bonus video I should say, but I hope you got some inspiration and just a few tips and tricks to do your own travel or anxiety notebook. And this is also a great way to use up extra supplies, guys, to play with your markers, play with your pens, because you could take a bag of markers and pens and just doodle, right? Just practice your doodling or whatever, and just have a really good time instead of being stressed and anxious. So Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.